This is Chapter 5 of the Let's Play for In Memoriam, or Missing Since January. To recap where we are, we're currently in the OUPHSIT puzzle. Plot-wise, Jack and Karen, and likewise us, are pursuing a bookseller in Istanbul who might have or have sold a manuscript to Professor Volker, who was Karen's father and was killed in Rhodes, Greece. So the solution to this puzzle, we were looking for a number, which Hyperman1992 came up with on the forum. He used the names and the location to search out this, which came up with a rare book society. You can see some of the names here: Sato Mai, Victoria Bering, Maria Luisa Alves, and a bunch of others. But the only one we really care about is this guy here in Istanbul, Kasim Saray, which he googled that and came up with this website, which one of the listings was for a book by Carl Johan Tornberg, and its listing number was Lund 185053. So we'll punch that in here. 53, and that solves it. And it looks like we have another film coming to us from Jack and Karen, courtesy of the Phoenix, so let's take a look.
Istanbul's Bazaar district. The next day. Luck was on our side. The stallholder knew the man we were after and gave us his address.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you. Bye.
The old bookseller lived on the other side of the Bosphorus River. We phoned him, and he agreed to meet us that very afternoon. After more than an hour's travel, the meeting that seemed so unlikely yesterday took place.
So thanks go to Hyperman1992 for coming up with the solution for that one. With that puzzle solved, we only have one left in the AQUA stage, and that is Sothier, which will start up now. So how this stage of the puzzle works is that when two or more of these circles come together, like those two above there, they start to generate a light. The idea is to bring all 5 of these into the center of the box, and you can see the words starting to light up on the right side of it, Hagia Sophia. The challenge in this is that it's very difficult to control these. They kind of move in the opposite direction you push the circles, but clicking doesn't really do anything, just mousing over doesn't really do anything. You can kind of give them a gentle nudge, but you never have absolute control over them, which makes this a little hard to control. So basically what I'm trying to do here is just trying to move them as a group over the letters, which will complete this section. There we go. Now this puzzle is actually, I think, way more difficult than it has to be for this stage of the game. What we see here is an overhead sort of blueprint view of Hagia Sophia, and 8 levas, or symbols that are placed around it, and we have to put the actual positioning This is a real-world place. These are real-world symbols. The actual positioning of them around the building. And if we Google it, normally I'd give internet puzzles to you guys, but this is really tricky even if you know what you're doing. If you Google it, you come up with this website, which is in French, but that part doesn't matter. We don't need to read it. We just need these pictures, which show the different levas and their position in the building. And since that it doesn't show a complete picture of the building or where these different alcoves and sections are, you have to kind of extrapolate from that to come up with the solution to the puzzle. It's very, very tricky, and even if you know exactly what you're doing, it can still muddle things up. But I'll go ahead and fill these in so that we can go on to more interesting puzzles that we all can participate in together. But I do appreciate that the game is actually involving a real world place and real world knowledge. If you actually go there today, this is how you'll see the building. And that's Sothier solved. So here's our final film for the Aqua section.
The old bookseller had fond memories of Volker, an idealist whose entire work was dedicated to passing on ancient texts. In the early 70s, he'd seen him in possession of an extremely old book describing the solar cult. Some collectors attributed this work to Hermes Trismegistus himself, the founding father of alchemy. No one has laid eyes on the book since Volker disappeared in 1975. When I told him that I'd discovered that Volker had probably been murdered, the old bookseller didn't even bat an eyelid. According to him, the book was reputed to have been cursed long before it disappeared. Well, I was fascinated by what I'd found out. Before going any further with my investigation, I decided to publish an article about Volker as soon as I got back to Paris. But for the time being, Karen still didn't have any idea as to who might have killed her father.
So there was a lot of new information in that clip. We learned that there might have been some sort of involvement of a sun cult of some sort in Volker's death. But with that completed, we're done with Aqua. We're moving on to TERRA, a whole new section of the game. So, looks similar, but it's different. We have new puzzles to deal with here: EPITECH, TERRA, and Epichnaus. Go ahead and start, or Epichnaus, sorry. We'll start with that one first. Now in this puzzle, the goal here is you're controlling the spider, and by putting one of these symbols in front of it, you can get it to move forward across the board. The different symbols have different meanings. It can make it go either 1, 2, or 3 at a time. The one with the circle around it is the 3. The one with the sort of longer spokes in the arms, this one here, is 2. And then the smallest of the 3 is the 1. And there's different tricks that it throws at you as you make your way across the board, but otherwise this is a pretty straightforward one. There's no research required. I actually had to go back a step there because it controls that one square near the end. We just sort of inch our way along here until we hit the end of this level, and it'll start a new one. And there's 2 or 3 of these as you kind of make your way along. They each have their own little quirks and frustrations, you could say. But it's sometimes nice just to have a good, clean, simple puzzle instead of something that's an arcade game ripoff or that requires hours of searching online. And as puzzles go, it's not as scary as it could be. I mean, unless you have a real fear of spiders, which you might. This part's really tricky here. Trying to get it to the top, but it keeps receding on me. And, it won't actually let you place the sun symbols on the squares unless they're not in the middle of an animation. If they're in the middle of moving, then it won't let you do it. This part's the hardest, I swear. So I feel like we're almost there. Every time we're almost there, it's backslides. Frustration's setting in, though. That one square at the top always recedes right when I need it to move. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Oh, no, no, no! We're moving back. This is not good. There we go, we made it. That's the hardest part of this level. Here we have these squares that rotate around. So I'm just going to wait here until opportunity comes up. Oh, there we go. And that should do it. That's Epichnaus. That was different and disturbing. Disturbingly different from what we've seen before. Wonder what was going on there. So we'll move on to our next puzzle, which should be where we finish things up for tonight here, called EPITECH. Now this is interesting because the Phoenix has never referred to actions he himself has done before this puzzle. And the big question now is, who is HW? Now this part of the puzzle here is basically classic adventure game pixel hunting at its finest. I'm basically dragging around this circle on the screen, and the lights light up red the closer I get to the spot on the screen that pushes us along. You can see I'm like one dot away. There we go. And it unlocks this box of items for us. And here we have, looks like sections of pictures. I'm getting good at reassembling these pictures. I've done that a couple times now. Also in the box are these rose petals. And it looks like a piece of rope. I'll keep working on these pictures here. See what we have. Looks like there's 2 pictures total this time. A bit different from that earlier puzzle in AQUA that was 3 pictures. There's all the rose petals in the row and the rope lined up. And it looks like we had a name flash by there. It looks like it said Helena and another one. Whitford, maybe? We'll play those again. Helena Whitford, said the file. So that fills in our name. That's presumably the HW that Phoenix was referring to. But the one piece of information that wasn't included here was the date of birth, which I'm going to leave this part of the puzzle for you guys to solve. Checking the email real quick here. We have no new email. So any that we were supposed to get or any that we have gotten after recording, I'll push those along to the forum. There we go. We're looking for the date of birth of Helena Whitford. The Phoenix mentioned her private diary, so maybe it's on like a blog somewhere. What they use from 2003 for blogging? LiveJournal, Blogger, MySpace. Let's search out there. Friendster, I don't know. And see what we can find. Just need the date of birth for Helena Whitford. Good luck, good hunting, and we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.